begun this diary as a safeguard, a control against the suicidal impulse to declare myself openly. I'm writing it in a corner of my room, out of the range of the telephone.
Hopefully some much needed levity for those that watch what we do and enjoy our stories. Some clarity for those that watch what we do and somehow still think we are something that we're not. Maybe a little comedy for both. I'll start the story way before the story. When I was a kid, our band played in our friend's basement. Nothing strange about that. The friend was Braun Daler, plays drums in Mastodon, paid his dues. His mom had a house on the west side of the city and would allow shows in the basement, which was cool. Our band played along with a bunch of other metal bands. I understood metal, but there were some things about certain types of metal at the time I just didn't get. So a really evil, weird band like Deicide, at the time I didn't get. So I made up some fake song names, sent a couple of songs out to Glenn Benton, the singer. Did so quite tongue-in-cheek. And when we got done playing, I was walking around the basement, and in a room full of metalheads, someone snuck up, punched me in the face. I deserved it. Harmless. Funny lesson. Cool show. Fast forward many years later, I'm actually here in Rochester watching Deicide. Some of our friends are there, including my brother and a cop. The show is great, full, band sounds good. And then pretty predictably, especially for a place like this, a couple of knothead racists start messing with the only black kid in the pit. We've never had any patience for that stuff, and we still don't. My brother was looking into it. I guess decided it looked like it might get worse and went in. Once we could tell that it was going to get worse, the cop and I went in. We drove the fight into a narrow hallway where the bathrooms were so that we could contain it. The main idiot started trying to fight with me. I whacked him in the head, choked him. Oddly, he started tapping me. Not sure he really understood how a street fight works. And while I'm choking him, his friend punches me right in the mouth. At which point the cop threw that kid through the door to the bathroom. So he is off the table. The idiot that I'm choking, incidentally also I found out after the fact, he's a pro wrestler. I've trained with some pro wrestlers, and they are gnarly. He was not that. He's gurgling, gets pissed. I toss him on the ground. He climbs up, he's angry. I didn't let him go when he was tapping. I said, "Hey man, you punched my brother. You're lucky you're not dead." That was an overreaction. No harm was done. We squashed it, took off, left the scene. As we'd done many times before, we look out for people when they need looking out for. We expect the same in return, but we very seldom get it. And it doesn't matter who we're looking out for. It's irrelevant. It always has been. It always will be. And my partners in crime in this particular time are worth thinking about, because they didn't care either. If someone's outnumbered, if someone's going after the weak, as we've mentioned before, those are our only enemies. When you make the choice to look out for people, it doesn't always involve your ideal personal safety. It doesn't always involve ideal timing. And it usually involves personal inconvenience. And none of that is ever as important as the task at hand. This is where the story gets at least a little bit funny. The next morning at 11 a.m., I was officiating a wedding that I wrote the ceremony for and had to read in front of about 300 people. I had a stitchable size cut on the inside of my mouth. My face was swollen and bruised, pretty significantly discolored. So I went home, put a bag of frozen carrots on it to see if I could get the swelling down. Took the best care of it that I could. For the first and only time in my life, used concealer to try and make my face look normal. We pulled off the wedding. It went great. Barely anybody even noticed how weird my face looked or how hard it was for me to say R's and S's. Worthwhile risk. Looking out for those that need us almost always is. Protectors come in all shapes and sizes. And often you won't know who they are until you need them. We should always endeavor and aspire to be them.